Wanted to say a few final things about this Primerica pyramid scam. It is a pyramid scheme that I got involved in, pretty much to find out how bad it was. I had a pretty good idea it was a pyramid scheme, but I wanted to find out exactly how bad it was, and it was really bad, really bad, worse than I thought. It is a cult-like uh, organization, especially here in the middle Georgia area, very much dependent on the gullibility of its members, on the faith-based beliefs of its members. I mean, the thing is ran like a church, like a cult, where the main preachers, the MCs, master of ceremonies, basically herd and direct the crowd, their actions, their lives. When I came in, I sacrificed $100+ plus, several dozen hours of my life. During the time I could have, I was able to do it. That's why I sacrificed it. I was in between jobs and didn't really have a whole lot else going on. So I was told during this time when I first signed up that yes, this is a independent business that you're going to be owning. This is your own business. We're not going to tell you how to run it. We're not going to tell you. We're not going to call you. That's what the main man that recruited me told me. This is the head office, or the office head here in the area told me. And he's like, we're not going to call you. I'm not going to call you. We're not going to tell you what to do. You're going to be on your own running this business, but not by your own. Meaning, in my mind, that yes, I want to be doing things on my own, running the things the way I want to. However, I'm going to have local help. I'm going to have support. I'm going to have backing from him, the team, other members, which, by the way, he discouraged contact with other members, especially in the initial days. Everything about the company, about what I was going to be doing, was to go through him and him alone. That's why they have a coaching system. They have it pretty much worked out to an art, to where they keep you as long as possible in the ether, in the without knowing much about the company. They want to feed you very carefully information about the company, little by little, step by step, in increments, not too fast, because they are hiding something. The only reason why you would be holding back information about the company, about its tactics, is if you are in fact hiding something, or you are also conditioning the person so they can accept the rest of the information, the rest of the truths about the company, which is a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme ran company. And they basically want to hold this information, this fact, back as long as they possibly can. And that is among their tactics. And also, the cult-like atmosphere, it's amazing, it's disturbing, it's disgusting. I mean, these people, it's the complete opposite of what they tell you about. Oh yeah, we're not going to tell you what to do. They tell you what to do in every step of the way. They attempt to anyways. In my case, they tell you when to be at meetings, what they call training, when in fact it's basically brainwashing sessions, when in fact it's basically, just time and opportunity for them to brainwash you, to eat your mind, as I like calling it. They basically preach all kinds of stuff. They make sure that you are satisfied with what you're doing, that you're justifying what you do. They basically justify what you do in every way they can, using Bible verses, using religious doctrine, using religious verses, religious phrases, religious sayings, words. They base it on religion. They assume everyone in there is a Christian, religious, Protestant, Baptist person. It's about 99% black. This office is, so they basically assume this, that everyone in there is, for one, a believer, two, a Christian, three, a Baptist or other closed denomination at that. And in a city with a lot of diversity like Macon, Georgia, that is a wrong thing to do unless you're searching just for one certain group of individuals, which is basically racism or racist discrimination by race. You cannot maintain this preaching of Christianity during what's supposed to be a professional company meeting and expect the whole crowd to follow up 100%. I am pretty sure that not everyone in that crowd, even without me in it, not everyone in there is necessarily a true follower of Jesus. Some of them may have doubts, although very, very few of them. Some of them may not be even Christians. Some of them may be Muslims. Some of them may be agnostic, atheist. Some of them may not want to associate themselves or the way they live with this hardcore extremist view of Christianity within the Protestant church. But the two main guys, they basically push the Christian view of things, and they use it to justify every deceit, every lie, every withholding of information, every tactic, every deceiving and dishonest tactic that they use. They tell you boldly and right up front that you are to withhold information from prospect recruits. They tell you up front that you are to sell people a quote unquote a dream, meaning something that is untrue, something that is completely deceiving and not entirely correct. If you sell people reality, you basically don't have to sell them anything. You just tell them about it, and they will more likely than not, go along with it and attempt to, if they are in the, if it's in the benefit, in their benefit, they will join, they will accept, they will follow along with what you are doing, with what you're saying, with your product. I strongly believe that you only need a salesperson in front of a product that is not necessarily either the best, good for you, or necessary. You only need a salesperson in front of a product that doesn't have any of those qualities. It is low quality. It is expensive, too expensive. It is not necessarily useful, and it could be even detrimental or harmful for people. You have to have a salesperson putting that product out, because otherwise, without the charm, without the arm twisting, without the pushing, and without the trying to push this product out, sell it, without all this effort, the product just will sit on the shelves, or sit and not be used, not be purchased, not be moved along. It will just sit there and eventually be forgotten and discarded, as it should in the case of the Primerica supposed product, which this office does not push the product. They even say it boldly and plainly. Our product is not for the people in your neighborhood. Don't be afraid to say no for our product, because they apparently get a lot of chargebacks, which was something that they were withholding from me for weeks. You do get chargebacks for this life insurance that you sell to people that cannot afford it. And when they are late on a payment, miss a payment, or cancel it, guess what? Your meager and small commission is taken back, not only from you, but from your office, which gets a bigger part of the commission. They get charged back, and you may even end up owing money to the company, because the company the office will likely charge you. I've heard several occasions where the office charges you, the supposed independent agent working for commission only. They will charge you, and even if you don't have money in your account, it'll be sitting in the negative, and it is money that you legally owe to Primerica. So that is something to consider before or even after you join. So again, just to go back to my previous point, this office company is ran like a cult. They control your life. They have trainings, so-called trainings. In our case, several times a week. During off hours, they expect you to leave your family, to leave your duties, your responsibilities back home, and come to these 3 to 4 hour training sessions in the dead of night, starting at 7 on Friday. And then they want you to return Monday morning for another training sessions, quote unquote training sessions. These are basically preachings, or basically cult events, where people applaud every word that comes out of the preacher's mouth. And sometimes even on Sundays, I've been getting calls to set up appointments, to set up training, to talk with my quote unquote trainers one-on-one. And then they want you to come back on Monday night, late after work, for most people, 7 o'clock to who knows what time. I've never been to one of these training sessions. Luckily, I've not wasted my time that bad. And, that's basically 3 to 4 days per week. And you are expected to visit and make appointments and talk to potential first recruits and then second customers. I mean, they push for recruits more than they push for their actual so-called product. So it's confusing the way these people work. I'm not even sure how in the world they stay open. I'm sure their sales numbers are shit. They claim that they make all of this money, but it is obviously a facade. I mean, you walk into the office as I have, and everything is cheap. Furniture is cheap and thrown all around the place. Um, there's really no staff. There's just, in this case, one person that picks up phone calls in the whole entire office. And I believe this is the, uh, you know, office manager that they call. Is probably a part timer that only comes in for a few hours a day. They're supposed to have more than one office in the area. They don't. They only have one, and the other locations they just stay closed. I'm not sure what they're doing, or if they just have a sign in front of an office here in the Warner Robins area saying that yes, this is another office, but in fact there's hardly, or I've never found out that anyone is staff in this office. And it's just a big facade. The people on top claim they are rich, claim they are even millionaires. They have that are worth millions. But I think it is all a facade. They surely don't, behave like millionaires. Millionaires don't come to work 6 days a week like these people do. Millionaires don't have to harp a uh, company's propaganda 24/7 in hopes of making their car and home payment that month. Millionaires are set. Millionaires go golfing 3 to 4 days a week. Millionaires go on a 2 to 3 month excursion, vacation. They have yachts. They travel the world. These people are not doing any of that. So I highly doubt that they are, in fact, millionaires. But they push it. They basically very much push their agenda. They push the money solves all argument. Money will set you free. Education doesn't work. Working doesn't work. And they claim all about owning a business mentality. But in reality, I mean, the only people running a business are the two people on top. Everyone else is just plain, even the higher ranks of the people under them are pretty much low paid employees when you consider the amount of hours that they work. Very low paid employees. So it is a scheme, a pyramid scheme. It is also a scam. It is a deception, a lie. And it is something that you should not be involved with for long, because the longer you stay in, the longer you will lose. There are, again, a few people that have made it on top, that have made some money, nowhere near what they claim they have. Be very, very skeptic when they tell you they make 700,000, 800,000, $1 million a year. Look at their lifestyle. Look at their work habits. Look at what they own. Look at their arrangements, their professional and personal arrangements, and you will soon find out that they are not making nowhere near what they say they do. If they are, they may just be quoting what the company in their local area is making, not what they're putting in their bank accounts. Uh, Wake up, quit Primerica, don't fall for it. If you're in it, help others, get out, expose its details through whatever means you can, because this is an evil and detrimental organization that's basically sucking the blood dry from many Americans that are already struggling. They are feeding on the poor, on the desperate, on the gullible, on the unsuspecting, on the trusting. They're abusing the trust of people that are, good public speakers. They have charm. They use people like that to basically uh, sell dreams and sell lies and deception.